All right, today on The Explainer, we're going to tackle a crypto project that makes a pretty wild claim. It's called Evervalue Coin, or EVA for short, and it's all about its unique relationship with Bitcoin.
So, get this. The whole idea, the hook, is basically this one crazy question. What if you could create a token that was mathematically guaranteed to never drop in value against Bitcoin? I mean, think about that. Not sideways, not down, just up. Always up.
And yeah, that is exactly what they claim. Their own words are that it's designed for continuous and secure appreciation in BTC value. That's a huge promise, right? So you gotta ask, how on earth do they even think they can pull that off?
Well, their entire answer, the secret sauce, if you will, it all comes down to this one core mechanism they've built. They call it the Burnvault.
Okay, so first things first, what even is EVA? Well, at its core, it's what's known as a deflationary token. It's built on the Arbitrum 1 network. And here's the key part. The supply is totally fixed. It's all out there already. They can't just print more. And that brings us right back to this Burnvault. The easiest way to think about it is like the project's main bank account, or its treasury. It's a smart contract, and its only job is to collect and hold Bitcoin, specifically wrapped Bitcoin, or WBTC. This WBTC is what backs every single EVA token out there.
So where does all this Bitcoin come from? Well, they say it flows in from two places. First, from their own Bitcoin mining operations, and second, from people buying the EVO tokens. The whole point is that this is supposed to be a constant inflow, like a river that's always running. So, in theory, the pile of Bitcoin backing the project gets bigger every single day.
Okay, a vault full of Bitcoin that's always growing, that sounds pretty good, right? But how does that translate into a guaranteed rising price for the EVA token itself? This is where we have to look at the math they're using.
They have this term, the burn price. And they say this isn't just a price. It's a guaranteed price floor that can only go up. And the formula, it's actually super simple. You just take all the Bitcoin sitting in that burn vault and you divide it by the number of EVA tokens that are out there in the world.
And this quote from their own FAQ, it really lays out their whole argument perfectly. Think back to that simple division problem. The top number, the amount of BTC in the vault, that's always going up. The bottom number, the amount of EVA tokens, well, that number is either staying the same or it's going down whenever someone burns their tokens to cash out. So what happens when you have a fraction where the top number gets bigger and the bottom number gets smaller? The result has to get bigger. It's just math. Now, this all sounds really neat on paper, but it probably makes you wonder about a couple of things right away. Like, first, how scarce are these EVA tokens really? And second, how safe is all that Bitcoin that's supposedly locked up in this vault? Okay, let's tackle scarcity first. Their answer is this one number, 21 million. That is the absolute total final number of EVA tokens that will ever exist. And yeah, if that number is ringing a bell, it's supposed to. They did that on purpose to be just like Bitcoin's own famous hard cap. And this really sets it apart from a lot of other tokens out there. With many projects, they can just create more tokens out of thin air, which waters down the value for everyone else. But not here. EVA's supply is locked. And it gets even better for holders because when people cash out their Bitcoin, their EVA tokens are destroyed forever. So the supply doesn't just stay flat, it actually goes down over time. It's deflationary. All right, so what about security? How do they keep that pile of Bitcoin safe? They point to a few things. First, their smart contracts were apparently audited by a company called Hacken. And the rules are baked right into the code, meaning Bitcoin can only leave the vault when EVA tokens are burned to get it. Plus, once a token is burned, it's gone for good. It can't be brought back. They also talk about having a secure WBTC vault and other measures to stop hacks and fraud. Okay, so we've got the theory, we've got the math, we've got the security claims, but what about the bottom line? For an actual person, a potential investor, how are you even supposed to use this thing? Well, this is where it gets surprisingly simple. The game plan for a user is just buy some EVA tokens and then hold them. That's it. You just keep them in your own wallet. There's no complicated staking, no farming, none of that stuff.
The idea is that the value just goes up on its own while you hold it. And whenever you want to cash out, you just do that burn process to get your share of the Bitcoin from the vault. And they're really upfront about who they're trying to attract. They call their target audience convinced Bitcoiners. So we're talking about people who are already all in on Bitcoin, who believe in it for the long haul, and are just looking for a simple, hopefully safer way to grow their stack of BTC without having to mess with all the crazy, complex DeFi stuff out there. And just to put a cherry on top, they make this one final, super confident claim. They don't just say EVS's value in Bitcoin goes up every day. They claim it does it with higher profitability than any Bitcoin staking protocol out there. I mean, that's a direct shot at all the other ways people are trying to earn a yield on their Bitcoin. So that leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? On one hand, you have simple math, a clear promise, and a mechanism that seems logical. Is this some brilliant new secure way to stack more sats, a kind of hold-to-earn model? Or is it a system that, while clever, still has some big, unanswered questions about whether it can really last for the long run and stay secure? And that's really the main thing to think about here.